Not far behind me, dude. Got like a year. So you're good. All right. So since it's my birthday, I'm gonna start out with the beer review because I am thirsty and I'm really excited to break open this beer here. So what I'm actually reviewing tonight is by Drop-In Brewing Company. This is a crowler. Look at this bad boy. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm in the realm of Steve here with the crowlers.
Yeah, you need to take up half your screen with just the crowler. There you go.
So this is Sunshine and Hoppiness. This is a Belgian pale ale. I've never had this before, so I'm kind of excited to break this open.
But you have drinking a beer from that brewery.
I have.
Yeah, the Scotch ale.
Yes, and it wasn't as scotchy as I thought it was. Mm-hmm. So does someone get this man a senior discount? All the jokes, bring them on, ladies and gentlemen, bring them on. Yes, the senior discount can happen. All right, I'm gonna crack this thing open. I don't know how shaking this up is, so I got some paper towels just in case. I'll move my mouse out of the way. All right, okay. Oh. All right, very cool. So this is probably going to be like one of many backup beers that I have for my birthday. I actually didn't even drink yesterday. I didn't even get a chance to have a beer.
Time to play catch up.
Time to play catch up. And by the way, my birthday was yesterday. This is just the birthday stream.
Well, shit.
So, sucka. So check that out. There we go. So this is a golden pale. This is a Belgian pale ale, which Belgian pale ales generally are. Toaster, thank you for the host. I do appreciate it, man. It smells good, but the color is generally a golden like hue, like this is. I can smell it's a little sweeter.
Oops.
You can see the head on it. Host toaster. There we go. Hey, thank you, Seth. I do appreciate the happy birthdays. I do like the scent of this. Again, this is something I've never had before, but as a generic birthday comment, thanks, Toaster. I do appreciate that.
Oh, it's heartfelt.
I know, definitely. He thought of that one like all day long, and he's like,
yeah.
You know what?
I'm gonna save this.
When he goes live tonight, I'm gonna say this.
I'm kind of nervous.
I'm so take it back, man. Thanks. All right. Let me just take a gander at this real fast. It's lighter. Again, lighter than what I'm thinking what it was. It's going to be. Mm-hmm. You know, it's good. But it kind of like with the other beer that we had the other with the drop-in, it was kind of, you could smell the aroma of it, but when you jump into it, I mean, I didn't burn my tongue or anything like that. I'm just making sure,
Yeah. It smells great. Both those beers are very fragrant. They smell great. They smell like what you think it's going to be.
They're very effervescent.
They always come a little short, but I prefer that than the other way around. Where you just blast your mouth not knowing.
No, yeah. No, this is very sessionable, and at 5.1%, you can definitely tell it's not the strongest Belgian pale ale I've ever had. Mm-hmm. It's not the hoppiest Belgian pale ale I've ever had. Mm-hmm. But I actually like this a lot better than the Scotch ale. Yeah. So, this is, I don't really taste too many with Belgian yeast you would generally get some banana notes, right? So, but I don't really get a lot of that in the flavor either. No, but it's tasty. This is something I would drink on a very hot day. When it comes down to it, I'm recently I've been digging holes in my backyard, not just for fun, but
you're that creepy neighbor.
I'm just burying bodies back there. No big deal. It's all good.
Yeah, keep on the hush hush, chat.
Yeah,
nothing to see here.
Don't tell anybody.
Let's make another hole.
Yeah, so we've been digging holes. Been sweating been sweating. I'm gonna say my balls off, but what the fuck? I've been sweating my balls off, and I'm out there, and then when I come in, last few days I've been grabbing ciders because dementia's setting in already. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you. Bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. I love it.
He also forgot that I reviewed the beer he's drinking a few weeks ago too.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Sure. I think so. Not a few weeks
I
ago.
looked at the list. There wasn't on the list.
I could be wrong. I mean, it might have been a backup beer. I think it was a backup beer because I remember showing off. I remember showing off the crowler. I think it was a backup beer. I think we're good.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
That's fine.
The list is not. Is not. It was. I checked it this morning. I was like, "Is this the one I'm gonna put in?" Yeah, this is the one I'm putting in. It's like, oh. All right. I may have already fucked up dementia.
no,
Great.
I don't think so.
You're an old guy. It's okay.
Anyway,
Where am I?
that's fine. Yes, I did say cider. So this is actually would be a hell of a lot more refreshing than the cider. Cider's refreshing. I like cider, but you know, this is something that I would want to drink after digging a bunch of holes. We've been digging up our gardens for the coming season for planting, and been building new gardens and moving bricks and making new beds. So, you know, again, this is something that I would love to crack open, and probably could have cracked open, but you know, I wanted to save it for today because you know we want to do 40s. So, but yeah, it's a good beer. I mean, again, not as hoppy as other Belgian pale ales that I've had, but at 5.1%. Most of the Belgian pale ales I've had are higher, I guess, higher percentage ABV. So, after digging holes, you call that chain gang beer? I had cider, so I guess it's chain gang cider. Yeah, Ann was putting me to work. She had me out there. I was singing the Cool Hand Luke song. What was it, Cool Hand Luke? Yeah, I don't remember. It could be worse. Yeah, but I don't get a lot of. Again, I don't get a lot of banana on the nose either. And you can see how the head has kind of died down a bit. So there's not a lot of over carbonation, but I think the Scotch ale had more carbonation in it, if I wasn't mistaken.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and
Retaste it.
Retaste it, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because this is also pretty cold because I had it in the fridge. I'm assuming when it warms up, we're going to get a little bit more of some of the notes that I'm missing right off the bat here. But
that's sort of that more Belgian-y, yeasty kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I would say out of a 5 point out of a
1 out of 40.
1 out of 40. 1 out of 40. Out of 1 out of 40. No, we don't want to do any that's just too high. I would go. This is definitely like a 3.5 on my scale, and that's kind of what I give a lot of ales that I enjoy, unless it's something that really just knocks me on my ass, like you know, like some of the Trilliums or that Backacre sour ale that you gave me, which was fantastic. You know, those things I definitely would give like higher. But again, 3.5. This is a very sessionable, drinkable Belgian pale ale from Drop-In Brewery, and this is a local brewery in Vermont. So if you get a chance to, and I don't know if Steve was up in Vermont, so I don't know if you got a chance to go to that brewery. No, he went to a lot of breweries, but he didn't go there.
Drop-In is over in Middlebury, Vermont, where I believe Woodchuck Cider and Otter Creek is located.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I did not know that, and we learn something new every day.
You know.
All right. So, like I said, 3.5 for this beer. Very good, very sessionable. Not as strong of a flavor as other Belgian pale ales I've had, but like I would definitely drink this again, and if I had more of them, I probably would crack it open tomorrow when I'm digging more holes, because it's going to happen. It's just going to be my life for the next 2-3 weekends, so that'll be fun. All right, so 3.5 for this drop-in beer, sunshine and hoppiness. Who wants to go next?
I can keep it in Vermont real quick.
I think we have all Vermonts. Wait,
do we? Prohibition Pigs in Vermont?
isn't Prohibition Pig in Vermont?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
All Vermont. It's all Vermont strain. All
BT
right.
hype.
Very cool. All right, there you go.
Alrighty. I am drinking, which is very interesting. It's Bitter Days, a double IPA from Hop and Moose. There's a logo in the corner.
It's pretty cool logo.
Yeah, this brewery is actually a very small brew pub. A little like sort of wood fire oven pizza joint in the city of Rutland, Vermont. They opened up a few years ago, and surprisingly recently started canning their beers.
Oh.
And wow, this is very light in color. But I've had their beer a few times. Their brewery's only about half. Very cloudy. Holy cow!
Wow.
It's described as a New England style IPA, so
Ooh.
unfiltered IPA. Very, very, very unfiltered. Not even a little
Can't even
clarity.
see through that. That's like
Nope. It's like a milkshake.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's like looks like homebrew. But I've had this beer once before at the brewery, and it was not this cloudy, so I find that sort of pretty interesting. And I don't believe they they can on the premises, but maybe they probably go through New York State, which a lot of breweries do. But anyways, smell, very yeasty. It's kind of tied between a, sort of an ale yeast smell. When if you're home brew, you sort of have that distinct smell or a brewery smell of yeast. It's that sort of a yeasty sweetness as well as your typical pine, citrus, mango beer or mango flavor you get from hops. Or in any, I guess, New England style IPA, that kind of very sort of, that very distinct hop aroma. But mainly sort of yeast is very, very close to like that same level of flavor, which I find very, very interesting. All right. It is very yeasty for sure. I can get sort of that yeast sweetness all the way through. Not dry, very, very that typical. Oh, interesting. Very juicy, sort of mango-y, pineapple-y, citrus flavor you get in these IPAs. But when I sort of tasted this as describing it, the finish is very nutty, which I found very weird. Yeah. Comes off sort of that first mango, pine, sort of orange peel, and then sort of that dies down as well as like a quick little shot of like sort of like a walnut or a chestnut kind of flavor, and then dies down. It's sort of, I don't know, I don't really pick it up in most IPAs ever kind of thing. You don't get a nutty flavor. You sort of get a dry biscuity flavor or bread flavor. But especially with a beer this cloudy, you won't be able to taste something of that like kind of flavor. That could be from the yeast itself that sort of creates that kind of nuttiness, which I find very weird. And probably with this amount of yeast in here, the head is kind of very stiff in the middle, kind of like what a Belgian beer kind of have. It sort of holds its head retention. But flavor-wise, I don't know. It's very interesting. It's not what I expected. I would thought it'd be closer to the lines of Heady Topper, because everyone's trying to shoot for that same flavor that Heady Topper has. Where it's an IPA, unfiltered. This is a lot more unfiltered than Heady Topper is, but like that's straight up like milky. But it's not as dry. But if I had to rate it, I would give it, I think, a 3, maybe 2.5 even.
No, really?
Yeah. Maybe if, I don't know, I think the yeast could back off a little bit and let sort of the hops shine through more. Yeah, I know this. I sort of judge off style versus the beer itself. So the English style IPA going with like your quintessential Heady Topper, or sort of any of those other kind of beers. Who else makes a good one? Lawson's Finest Liquids makes a good one too, but this sort of doesn't really fit that. That nuttiness is good. I like that, but if you're trying to go for this style, they're trying to shoot for this thing, that it sort of misses its mark a little bit. You get too much of the yeast, so it adds that sort of weird, possibly nuttiness. The sweetness is a little too much too. Almost tastes under-fermented kind of thing. That's why it's sort of a little off-putting how sweet it is. But you can taste the alcohol. The alcohol is 9% alcohol, which I found very interesting. IBUs is 40, so that sits around what I'm tasting. But yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with around 2.5. Let's say 2.5. I will drink. I would buy it again though. It's good, but if I was going to think of a English style IPA, I think it misses the mark a little bit, but I still enjoy it.
It doesn't have that juicy note to it, like you're expecting
Not-
something like a heady topper.
Yeah, not nearly as strong. So you sort of that yeast flavor sort of takes over that role.
Okay.
It's probably closer to that Belgian pale ale you're expecting, but
Yeah.
not a Belgian yeast. It's kind of that level of like yeast flavor, but it's that generic American ale flavor.
Hmm.
It's sort of dry. It's a little drier, a little more cloyingly bitter.
Okay.
Oh, certain yeasts when they ferment out or are fermenting, they taste a little bitter as well. It's kind of that certain flavor. It's almost metallic in bitterness, but it's very, very yeasty. But it is good if you sort of go into this beer knowing it's going to be a little yeasty, and you were looking for that sort of that IPA around Vermont. This kind of hits that note, but that nut flavor is very weird, very off to me.
Because there was a beer term I was looking at for the word of the week, which we'll get to after we're done with the beer reviews. But one was saying it was giving it like it's a byproduct of the yeast, and I guess it's most of the time. I don't know if it's diacetyl. I have to look it up again. Maybe we'll make it next week. Do that word next week. But that's but it said it gives like a nutty flavor, which most of the time it's not something that you would. Certain beers it would add a good flavor to, but most beers it's something that's like not wanted, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I wonder if that's something. It's something similar. I can look it up, but I mean, maybe we do that after we're done with
right. That could be it because sort of yeast can put off a very a quintessential yeast flavor. It can also go that nutty flavor on one side, or it can become very soapy. Tastes like you have like dish soap in your beer.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That is odd.
Yeah, unhealthy dead yeast usually tastes soapy, while healthy good yeast is sort of more on the nutty side.
Ah, all right, that makes sense.
Yep.
And what's up, Sebastian? How are you, man? Sorry, I generally let everybody when someone's doing a review, I type my response and wait until after they're done. I don't want to interrupt someone and just be like, "Hey,
hey,
that'd be kind of a douchebag."
Hey man, fuck you.
So, yeah, seriously. All right, so fitting with the Vermont theme, because this is all Vermont beer thing here. Steve was just went on a journey. Lucky guy.
BT.
You want to do your beer now? Or?
Yeah, sure.
All right, here we go.
Vermont rules, man.
Vermont beer is ridiculous.
Very, very, very psyched to have visited my buddy Terry with a whole bunch of other guys that has supplied most of my dead soldiers back there on the shelf. Awesome couple of days, and we visited, I think, 9 breweries or so.
God.
9 out of 40.
Barely made a dent. But one in particular that needs to be recognized tonight, and I'm really, really happy to be able to crack this open. I was going to give this to my buddy Tim. I didn't have time to do this one. From Prohibition Pig in Waterbury. What a great spot, and a little bit of history is Waterbury and Prohibition Pig moved into where The Alchemists was originally founded, which was
really?
That was I didn't even know that until I got there. I wasn't really tracking because
it's literally next door to the Ben and Jerry's factory.
Yeah, this is really close to Ben and Jerry's, which we also kind of have to have some ice cream too while you're in Waterbury.
Absolutely.
But what a great spot. These guys. I gotta. So many times in my life, I've seen people try to fit into bigger shoes, shoes that have been established before they got there. And Prohibition Pig, they have big aspirations to move into where Alchemist moved into, and I got to give them credit. they had a lot of great taste there the day that we showed up, and I did not taste this one.
Oh man,
I got a crowler of it instead, and just to bring it home.
That's how you do it.
I was gonna give it to Tim, but Tim is gonna get something probably a whole lot better from another place in Vermont. So I don't feel guilty at all giving this a taste tonight. So what I'm tasting tonight is Bantam.
That picture in the back screw the pig going
wait,
into
seriously, was that a pig going through a grinder? We turn it again.
It's a fermenter.
It's going through a fermenter. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I gotta give a little bit of props for that, because I had no idea how good this one was, because
I like that warning. Sorry.
Yeah, I gotta give a little disclaimer on that one. But Bantam is essentially Prohibition Pig's American double IPA, I would say. So it's definitely a high end double IPA, and I'm glad to have brought this back. So empty glass crowler, yeah. Once again, a crowler being opened here. I know this is getting an old hat now, but I'm psyched about this one.
There's nothing wrong with that, Steve.
There's nothing bigger now. Gotta move up to a full growler next.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we're definitely coming back up, Drew. So we will find a way to connect with you and do some more. Oh my God, what a great state for beer!
There's plenty of breweries you haven't gone to.
There's a ton. I saw the map and I'm like, wow, we haven't made a dent in this place yet.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit. Oh, nice, and wow, yeah, that's quite nice.
That's like highlighter yellow.
Yellow again. Let me see if I can. My lighting is not blue adjusted here, so yeah, that's pretty yellow. Wow. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, I have high expectations and probably very little disappointment here.
Nice drip, by the way.
Oh wow. Yeah. Even just the aroma is like definitely sweet, like Simcoe-y style. I'm thinking, let's see, what are the hops that they use? Yeah, Simcoe's in there, Columbus and Chinook. So yeah, definitely a nice, very nice hoppy. Mm. Oh, that's actually really smooth. Much smoother than I was expecting too. Yeah, I should have had this while I was there too. I'm happy to say that I'm still Tim's still IPA here. He's gonna get a nice taste of a sour that we got in Brattleboro. So
nice.
I'm not taking anything away from Tim at this point. So this is mine now. Wow, you know what? There's like hardly any bitter there.
Nice.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, the lacing is really, really light and bubbly. If you can see that.
The alcohol 7%?
It runs about 8. Yeah, right around 8. So, wow. You know, for off the tap too, you never know. But that's gonna put me to bed soon. You gotta their crowlers are actually, I mean, obviously their logo is really, really cool. Prohibition Pig. So and they refer to themselves as Pro Pig. That's they're pretty upfront about their name. And
but they have the meat grinder on top of it.
It's just
wait, turn it a little bit more.
Alex says, do not shotgun. Okay.
Yeah,
solid.
Shotgun. Yeah, you
yeah.
There's a meat.
Perfect. It's beautiful.
Holy shit, that's funny as hell.
The bag that the crowler goes into is all logoed and all. They are very, very sweet about their packaging. And
do they sell meat too? I saw smoked meat on the logo.
Yeah,
sweet.
There's a whole bunch of stuff on not only the front window, which is, let's see, I took a picture. So here's their front street sign.
It's the same thing.
Nice.
The meat grinder pig. That is so fucking funny as hell.
These guys
Holy
are
shit.
really, really awesome in the brewery too. So, yeah, literally on their front window, they've got smoked meat. It's part of their it's part of their offerings. So that's actually out front. So where Alchemist used to be is in essentially the restaurant at Prohibition Pig. They also got the back building and made that where the brewery and the brew pub is. So technically, that's their stuff, and nothing Alchemist related back there. So that's their territory. But it's just smoked meat, libations, brewery. Very, very straightforward. And this is a really, really delicious double IPA. I got to say, not even the bitter that you normally get. For an Imperial American double IPA. This is really, really, really sweet and really easy going. I got to think about the number for this because this is definitely approaching somewhere between 3.5 and 4, just based on the flavor. And I didn't get a chance to taste this that day because they have a whole bunch of other brews on tap in their brewery. They got a bunch of Lawsons back there. There's like all kinds of really great stuff. I had some Sip of Sunshine back there. I was trying to get a crowler or a growler of Sip of Sunshine to bring back to you guys.
It's so good.
That was delicious. And I had to have that while I was there because I didn't know if I was going to have any more opportunities, which I actually did. And I had, so it was really easy. Really easy to get more Sip of Sunshine, but you know what? This is quite nice. They did a really, really spectacular job. And like I said, filling big shoes is a really, really tough proposition for any profession, whether it's beer or just any kind of a professional occupation. And they've got a good soul, I think, behind them. So this is a really good representation of what they've got. So Bantam from Prohibition Pig. I'm definitely at the 3.75 mark.
Oh wow!
Last week too.
Going corners.
Everybody's pissed off that I'm using 0.75. But
No, I did it one stream, so shit.
It's a quarter measure. It's
okay.
a good thing.
Yeah.
These guys are rocking it, and based on my experience there too, that's not influencing my taste review, but a really good group of folks there. They've got some great food. We had a whole bunch of really good food while we were there too. So good folks and good beer.
Nice.
375.
I definitely need to get up to Vermont now. I mean, like all these beers that not only just to come visit you, Drew, but I mean just
for sure,
obviously, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just
the beer scene is ridiculous.
I had no idea. Really, until we kind of started the show and all this stuff about New England IPAs and whatnot. And by the way, that actually was just created, and I think I mentioned this last week, but it was actually just established as its own style. It is now officially its own style. So the question is,